In this episode, I will show you 3 incredible places to visit in Western Australia. Western Australia is a massive state and there is so much to see and do here. So if you do have any other recommendations on where to visit, leave a comment below. Right, let's jump into it with number 3, which is Karijini National Park. This is one of my favourite national parks in Australia. The first gorge we visited was the Karijini Gorge. This was a beautiful hike and it was an amazing introduction to Karijini National Park. It is 4-wheel drive access, but it's well worth it. Next up we have Dells Gorge, where you can access Fortescue Falls and Fern Pool. So it's an awesome place to go and you can do a lot of things here. I would recommend staying at Dells Campground. That's a great base because you can actually walk from the campground to all 3 of these areas and do some incredible hiking around here. After this we went to Knox Gorge, which is a grade 5 hike, so it's quite a steep descent into the gorge, so just proceed with caution. There's lots of loose rocks, but the view at the end is well worth it. Then we visited Joffrey Gorge, which again is absolutely stunning. I can imagine the waterfall here in the wet season to be pretty beautiful. It's still an amazing place to visit. You have to go down quite a few stairs into the gorge and you can swim here, but it's freezing. After this, we went to Mount Bruce. This is quite an adventurous hike and it's quite long. There are also quite a few areas where you have to cross over some rocks. There's quite a steep drop, so if you're okay with heights and you're up for an adventure, this is an incredible hike. But just as a word of caution, if you do have a fear of heights, maybe something to consider. Also, there isn't a lot of shade on this hike, so it's recommended to do this first thing in the morning. Take plenty of water and food and really enjoy it. The views from the top are absolutely stunning, so it's well worth the effort. One of the best free camps we've stayed at on our lap of Australia was Buddha's Overnighter. This is actually next to Hammersley Gorge, which is a very famous gorge in Karijini National Park. Hammersley Gorge was the last gorge we visited before heading out. Link the full video in this video so you can check out exactly what we did. Here you can actually swim across and access the spa pool, which is pretty special to check out. Okay, so number 2 on the list is Cape Range National Park. From here you can access the Ningaloo Reef, which is a fringing reef, and there are some incredible snorkeling spots here, one being Turquoise Bay, the second one being Osprey Bay, where if you're lucky enough you can swim with turtles. So many types of fish, and we swam with quite a few turtles, and yeah, just an incredible experience and definitely one to add to your list. Then also, our favourite place to snorkel on the Ningaloo coast was Oyster Stacks. This was an incredible experience again to swim with turtles, but it is very shallow, so you actually need to get the tide times right in order to snorkel here, and because the reef is really close to the shore, and yeah, there isn't much water there, so you can only snorkel at certain times of the day, and yeah, just be very careful here because it is very shallow. We saw stingrays, turtles, and something which we've never seen before in the ocean was an octopus, which was quite a special experience to see that. So yeah, I would highly recommend Oyster Stacks. That would be my number 1 place to snorkel on the Ningaloo Reef. Next up we have Charles Knife Canyon. This is a stunning drive you can do. It's near Exmouth, so definitely do this either on your way to Exmouth or when you're leaving. There are some hikes around here as well. We just did the drive, but I've heard there's some great hiking around here as well. But yeah, as you can see, it's absolutely stunning and I would highly recommend it. Now, I need to mention Coral Bay as we're talking about the Ningaloo coast. There is a manta ray tour you can do here. I think there's multiple tours, but we went on a manta ray tour. You can also do whale shark tours from Exmouth, but the manta ray tour was very good value and we had such an amazing day. I'll link the video in this video so you can watch exactly what we did, but yeah, I would highly recommend it. Number 1 on the list is the Gibb River Road, and this is an incredible adventure. It's 660 kilometers long and a lot of that is unsealed roads. There's river crossings. A high clearance 4-wheel drive is definitely recommended. First up we have Winjana Gorge. This is a great place to start, obviously if you're going west to east like we were. Then we went on to Bell Gorge, great place to have a swim and stunning views. It's a bit of an adventure to get to the lower pool. We had to take our shoes and socks off and cross the water here, but well worth it. Leonard River Gorge is worth checking out. It's a very short hike. Then Manning Gorge, I'd say this is my favourite hike on the Gibb River Road. You start off, you have to swim across a river with all your stuff in a barrel. Then you actually do, I think it's a 5-kilometre return hike. You hike out to the gorge, which is absolutely stunning. Take food and water with you so you can actually enjoy it. A lot of people took inflatables as well. Edinburgh Station is a great campground. Awesome scones. We were there at the right time to have a campfire, and it was just awesome. You'll also do a few river crossings. Durack River is a little bit smaller, but it's still massive than the next crossing coming up. You also have the Pentecost River, which is very famous. There are crocs here, apparently. And yeah, it's awesome. El Crestro Station, very famous place to go. Highly recommend the pizzas there. You can have some drinks and listen to the music. El Crestro Gorge was one of the best hikes we did. This is absolutely stunning. A lot of people turn around at this point where you have to climb up to access the waterfall at the very end of the gorge. But you can just go to this bit and turn around if you want to. It's about halfway, I think. But this is the waterfall at the end. It's worth a climb up. I'd say that's one of the hardest climbs. There's a couple of other climbs after, but a fantastic adventure. Next up, we have Zebedee Springs. These are natural hot springs. Then I'd recommend Amalia Gorge. Absolutely stunning. Once again, the water was absolutely freezing, but I ventured out and made it out to the waterfall, which was well worth it. Yeah, it's just a really beautiful place to go. Another great hike. Another very famous gorge on the Gibb River Road is Emma Gorge. So this is at the very end or the start, depending on which way you're coming from. But this is absolutely stunning. Again, the water was very cold, but worth going in for a dip. So that wraps up this video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe not to miss any other videos, and I'll see you in the next video.